Hello, my name is Jeremy Fox. This is my week 3 video for cross-platform mobile development. First, what did you find most valuable this week? Really, I think it was just the time spent on, looking into proper synchronization between a local database and a remote database, and some of the ways to handle that properly and keep everything in sync. There's probably still some edge or corner cases that I may have overlooked, but I tried to make sure if something was added new, it was added instantly to the local database and then later synced to the remote, as long as there's a network connection, and kept the user informed of when the syncs failed and whatnot, so they could try again. And I offer the manual sync on there, like you can see with the sync button at the top on the action bar. And then if you edit a note, it's updated to the local database and then synced. Same thing with deleting and whatnot. And then I guess the next thing is, what did you find most challenging? The same exact thing, I guess. So there was some cases in which I'm trying to remember a specific case, but like for instance, if I create a note and I'm offline, and say I create 2 or 3 notes, I'm offline, and then I sync later when I'm online, I want to make sure they get synced, but not so that they get duplicated, because there was originally an issue to where when it's in my local database and then it's synced to the remote database, the next time I synced, I would have 2 copies of the same note because it was in both places, remote and local. So I had to check and see if the note already exists in the local database when I sync, because when I pull the notes down from the remote API, from the remote server, I don't want to just double everything that I already have. I wanted to see if I already have them and to only update what needs to be updated. What would you have done differently if you could? Don't know anything specifically. There's probably a few different ways I could have maybe done things a little bit better. For instance, you're not going to see it on Droid at screen because it's so slow, but currently when I scroll, there's a tiny little bit of a jitter in between each section of note when it appears and hides, and that's because of the date formatting and calculation. So I'm having to pull the date out of the database, throw it into a simple date formatter, and then format the date, and there's a little bit of a delay in doing so. So to maybe do that better, I could have thrown it into an async task or something so that it's on a background thread. And then once I have the formatted date, just pop it in the UI. But I didn't really see the point in doing all that just for this remote data work. List a few things that could use more clarification. Right now I don't have anything. So I figured I'd just show you the app real quick. And I have my remote API, which is running in Heroku, and you can see the URL here. youngcove5823.herokuapp.com, and then this is my unique ID, and then I'm on the notes page. So this just shows right here what's in the API, and then you can see what's on the actual device in the local database. So I have 10 here on my local device. I also have 10 here. So let's say I go in, I'll just go into this last one down here, and then I delete it. Wait for Droid at screen to catch up. I scroll down, and now there's an empty block at the bottom, so I now have 9. If I refresh my database, as you can see in this remote server, it's kept in sync on the remote side. So now we're down to 9 over here. So I come over here, I'll create a new note. I'm just gonna do a bunch of garbage just so I can be quick. Hit save, and note saved, and it's appended to the top of the list there. So now we have all 10 notes. So I'm down at the bottom there, you can see it's all even. We have 10. If I come back over here and I refresh, there we go. My 10th one is back in there now, and it looks like it's down here at the bottom right there. And then the manual sync, if I press that, it says loading notes, and it pulls everything down from the API, checks what's in the local database, updates things as needed, and then updates the list and dismisses the little dialog, and that's it. You're on your way. The last thing here I can show, just as a quick demo, is the sorting feature. So if we do date created, which is the default, so you're not going to see any difference there. Let me go ahead and update something so we can do date updated. I'll say edit. And I'm just going to add a bunch of X's to this so I can see which one was edited. Oops, hit a breakpoint. Okay, so notes updated. Let's see. On the API, you can see it's now updated on the API. There's all my X's. And let's see, the updated at looks to be correct. So now we can come over here. I'm going to sync just to make sure I've got everything in sync in the local database from what's in remote, and sort by updated at, and there you go. So it just threw that one that I just put all those X's in there to the very first one at the top. So because that was the most recently updated. So if I go back to created at, now that one there is the most recently created. The dates that you see on all the notes is actually the date created. I'm not updating it. That doesn't change to the date updated. So like if I go like this and I say date updated, that date is still the date created. I didn't actually change that, so it's not a big deal, I guess. And then the last thing is alphabetical. So if we sort by alphabetical, if we're looking for a specific note by title, it might make it a little bit easier to sort by alphabet so that the title of the note is organized by the first letter in the title. And then that's it. That's it. So that's all I've got for now. So you can see the local database and the remote are kept in sync and all of that. So that's it. So thank you for watching.